Bueno, buenas tardes a todos y todas. Finalizando, o para finalizar, mejor dicho, la campaña del mes de la mujer. En este caso voy a entrevistar a Melissa Locke. Melissa es kinesióloga especializada en pediatría y discapacidad, es vicepresidente de la Confederación Mundial y presidente del Comité de Finanzas. Ocupa además puestos de decisión en Australia de acreditación universitaria y discapacidad. La entrevista, por supuesto, va a ser en inglés con subtítulos para que todos podamos acceder. Y obviamente, Melissa, que entendés perfecto español, muchas gracias a vos por tu buena predisposición y tu buena voluntad. We are here in Provincia de Buenos Aires, so far away to you in Argentina, but we are working a lot, no?
It's a great honor. Thank you for interviewing me.
Okay. So, Melissa, tell us about you, something about you, about your life in Australia. What are you doing in Australia and in the World Confederation?
Yes, of course. So I am first and foremost a mother of two children. They are 26 and 21, but they still need their mother. A boy and a girl. And I'm a business owner. I'm a physiotherapist. I work in private practice in the northern part of Australia, and I work mainly with pediatrics and disability. So I'm a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion and access to services for all. I'm the Vice President of World Physiotherapy, and I'm the Chair of the Finance Committee for World Physiotherapy as well. I also have some other board positions in Australia that look at the accreditation of university courses and the assessment of overseas qualified physios to practice in Australia, and also on a disability board. So I have half my life is board positions and half my life is still being a clinical physiotherapist, and all of my life is being a mother and a sister and a daughter and a proud woman in March for International Women's Day, supporting women and promoting them to positions of influence.
Great, Melissa, fantastic. You have a very complete life. No, you have mother, have physiotherapy, have daughter. Oh my God, a lot of things, but
busy,
very, very busy, very busy. Every years all around your life, you work in pediatrics.
Yes, I started. I graduated from physiotherapy. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it is 36 years ago. I can't believe I've been a physio for that long. And I was encouraged into pediatrics. I worked in a pediatric hospital for 2 years, and I thought, no, don't push me into pediatrics. So I went off to a general hospital, a regional hospital, and I did everything. And then I went overseas traveling, as everyone did. And then I came back and worked in adult private practice. But I really had a love for pediatrics. And I went back into the neonatal intensive care unit of one of the major hospitals in my city. And I did some further research in cardiorespiratory for premature infants. And then I had my own premature infant. My son was born 12 weeks early, and he weighed 970 grams. He was very ill. And I realized that in the private setting, private patients didn't get great follow-up from the neonatal intensive care unit. They did for the doctors, but not for physiotherapy. And so I started a private practice, and it's grown from there. And I've been doing that now for 30 years, and some patients I've seen that I saw when they were born, and they're now 30, and I've taken them, helped them with their families go through school and high school and university or work, relationships, moving out of home, learning to drive. So now I don't really call myself so much a pediatric physio as a disability physio, because I've travelled with them and their families across their lifespan.
Wow, it's a great story.
It's been a great privilege and pleasure.
You are so proud, of course.
Yes, very proud.
Okay. And Melissa, in Australia, is a demanded career, profession, physiotherapy?
Yes, yeah, definitely. There is a real push for health professions. I would say there's more of a push in aged care because our community is aging, and in, non-communicable diseases, definitely. Certainly disability. We have had a big government shift in funding for disability. So what's happened has been that there's been more funding for people with a disability, and therefore there is greater need in this area.
Okay.
And so there's been a big growth. We have, with an ageing population, as I said, with we are a lucky country. Australia is a lucky country. So there is increasing need, especially with baby boomers, people a bit older than me, who want to look after their health. They have the money to do it, and so they want to employ physiotherapists, to help them, so they can, so that the baby boomers can go off and camp or trek or hike. So there is a real demand for physiotherapy in Australia.
Great, because you are the first world, but
yes,
we are in developed. We are developed country, and we have a lot of differences, of course.
Absolutely, and I've been preparing for a presentation at World Congress in April, and it has highlighted, the vast differences in high economic countries such as Australia to those countries who are not, who are developing, and again, even with COVID-19, we have been so lucky. We are a big island, and we have been, we have been affected, but nothing like other countries of the world. Whilst there's been a real push for physiotherapy in acute care, especially respiratory care, and there will be, ongoing needs in rehab for long COVID, for the effects of long COVID. We haven't had the numbers that countries in Latin America, South America, Europe have, Northern America have had, Africa.
Exactly. Wow. Well, fantastic. And what about the role of women in PT in Australia?
So still there are more women in physiotherapy than men, though men in physiotherapy in Australia are taking on more of those management roles and high-level roles, such as president of the member organisation, the Australian Physiotherapy Association, yet there's probably 65 to 70% women and 35 to 30% men. So as women, we need to still stand up and be leaders in the profession.
Exactly.
Yes, in roles of management, in owning businesses, in advocacy, in being the presidents of our member organisations. It's very, very important. And women are historically, nurturers and givers, and we do the clinical very well. But we have amazing skills at leadership. We're good listeners. We're creative thinkers. Not that I'm saying men are not, but But these are strong tendencies in women. And we as strong women in the profession, like you, Eugenia, the president of World Physio, Emma Stokes, myself, we need to we need to promote women in positions of importance and influence.
Exactly. The women in the to access a lot of to access to this magnet position is incredible. Here is the same. It's incredible.
It's very important, and still we we are mothers, we are daughters, we are sisters, so we often have many hats to wear.
Exactly.
And sometimes we go, well, we need to do this hat, we need to do this job, we need to wear this hat. So we put ourselves back in our profession sometimes and say, well, the work I'm doing clinically or as an educator is adequate. But we need to be confident that we're great advocates and warriors, warrior women.
Exactly.
And we need to demonstrate that to the young women coming up through the profession as well.
Yes, yes, great, fantastic. And how many years did it take to you to study, to study to access to this chart all your life?
Oh, yes, I'm a lifelong learner. I believe we as physiotherapists must be lifelong learners. And I think it's a sad day if I don't learn something new every day. It might not always be about physio, it might be about something else.
Exactly.
When I've sat near someone at a meeting or on a plane, not so much on a plane lately. But I did a 3.5-year bachelor's degree, and then I went off to work. It's now a 4-year bachelor degree, or we have in Australia a graduate master's degree. We also have a doctorate of physiotherapy. And then I went back and did some study. I wanted to do my master's in clinical research, and I started that when I was in the neonatal intensive care unit, but I didn't complete that because of Toby, of delivering my premature son. I then went on, and we have a college of physiotherapists in Australia, and so it would be 14 years ago, I became the first clinical specialist in pediatrics in Australia.
Right.
And I passed the exams, and I'm a fellow of the college, and I hold that in really high regard. My board skills, I think my dad was always very involved in the community.
Wow.
And he believed you should give back to your community. So I have a strong need to give back to physiotherapy, and that started first in pediatric group activities in the Australian Physio Association. Then I worked my way up to the board, and then into the Asia West Pacific region, and then onto the world board. So I'm forever learning those skills about good governance and ensuring organisations have the skills to advocate for the profession.
Right, excellent. Because politics, they are a very important part in service. You are service from the community.
Yes,
and the
absolutely.
profession, exactly, for the patients, to be a great world.
Yes, to be a warrior, as I said, a warrior woman, to be strong in social justice, to be, support, activities that make sure there's not violence against women, to ensure equal opportunities for not just women, other subgroups of the community, to ensure equality and inclusion. That's the need to do that in the profession as well as in your community is paramount.
Oh, right, because you grow up and the society grow up too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you don't do it well. Sometimes you say the wrong thing. But as long as you keep on trying to make whatever your community is better,
Exactly.
then there is good in that.
But it's logical you make a mistake because you are working. If you are stay at home, you say, oh, it's all right, everything is all right. No, I don't like it, you know.
Yeah. And you should never complain about something if you're not prepared to try to help to change it.
Because we are living in a dynamic life now, like pandemic year, you know, this is very, very, very dynamic. The moment is
yes, the world is changing at a rapid pace. Things we never thought would happen are happening.
Exactly.
You know, Congress online, you know, a virtual Congress where we can still get together and share. And in fact, maybe it has opened it to more people because it's more affordable. You know, so we need to embrace change, even if it's from hardship and terrible outcome, you know, a terrible situation, and make sure that we keep the bits that are good from that change that has been from something not so good.
Great, Melissa. And if you want to tell to us an important, I know, milestone in your life and a special thing in your career,
what would I say? I have been so lucky, Eugenia. I'm so lucky to have had parents who thought that university education was important and gave me that opportunity. So lucky to have two children who are lovely, interesting individuals. I'm lucky to have created a private practice that has lasted for 36 years. To be given the opportunity to be a specialist pediatric physio, to have been the president of the Australian Physio Association, and then to have you know, been voted into roles at the Asia West Pacific executive level, and then, you know, at the World Board. So I'm so lucky. I'm lucky I have become a physiotherapist. I always say that a physiotherapist has so many jobs. You are a clinician, you are an educator, you might be a physiotherapy assistant because you're cleaning the hydrocollator or the wax machine, or you're changing the linen. I've become a business owner. I've become a board director. Physiotherapy has been one of the amazing milestones in my life, and I hope that continues for a few more years yet. The opportunity to meet people, you know, from all around the world, such as you. We meet, we connect, there's just this wonderful spark in between physiotherapists, and you are a kindred spirit, and from that we share and we become colleagues and hopefully lifelong friends, and we share experiences and hopefully make physiotherapy better globally. They're my milestones.
Okay, you are in love like me, because I love my profession. It's the great profession all around the world. I say, hi, hello, come to our profession. Is very, very, very nice. Very, very,
come
very
on in.
Come on.
It's great. And I think of the friends I've made who are physiotherapists. Most of my friends are physiotherapists, not all of them. And we are of a similar mindset and belief and values. And we need to share that. I never mind when physios go off to other professions like medicine and law, because, or business or government positions, because I think that all those skills we have
Exactly.
are then sent out into other professions and,
Exactly.
and you know, hopefully advance change.
Yes, they have a very good base, you know, their physical therapy, their hands are improving in another ways, you know. Great.
Their eyes, their
Exactly.
communication skills.
Exactly. So, Melissa, thank you very much. If you give to, please come here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. We are waiting for you. Of course.
Thank you for inviting me. I would love to be there. I had hoped to be there last year.
Okay, next year.
But next year, hopefully.
Exactly.
Yep.
We are waiting for you.
Thank you for thinking me a worthy person to interview for International Women's Day.
Great. It's a very, very nice month. We are working with a lot of women, like reference, you know, strong like you, warrior like you here in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. I say, okay, Melissa, I need to call to Melissa. Oh, Melissa, do you want?
Always. Messenger, WhatsApp.
Thank you
Skype,
very much.
Zoom.
Okay. Thank you very much. Women Month, and see you soon here, there, anywhere, or in Zoom or WhatsApp, you Skype, you know.
Exactly.
Great. Thank you, Melissa. Bye. See you soon.
Gracias.
Thank you very much indeed. Bye. Bye. Good night.